Who was Master Eckhart? The mystic who sought the divine beyond words. Master Eckhart, also known as Meister Eckhart, circa 1260 to circa 1328, is one of history's most enigmatic and profound figures in the world of theology and mysticism. His name evokes awe and curiosity among spiritual seekers, scholars, and philosophers alike. But who was he, and why does his thought continue to resonate across centuries? Let's journey into the life, teachings, controversies, and legacy of a man who dared to describe the indescribable and question the unquestionable. A life rooted in faith and philosophy. Born around 1260 in what is now Thuringia, Germany, Eckhart joined the Dominican order at a young age. As a Dominican friar, he immersed himself in the study of theology and philosophy, eventually becoming a teacher and preacher. Eckhart's intellectual prowess earned him prestigious positions, including leadership roles within his order and a teaching post at the University of Paris, the center of medieval scholasticism. But Eckhart was no ordinary theologian. While his training grounded him in the orthodox traditions of the Church, his writings and sermons revealed a mystic's yearning to transcend conventional boundaries. His ability to blend rigorous intellectual inquiry with profound spiritual insight set him apart as a thinker who could speak to both the head and the heart. The heart of Eckhart's mysticism. If there's one thing to know about Eckhart, it's that he sought to articulate the inexpressible. At the core of his teachings is the concept of the divine ground. Eckhart believed that God is not a distant being but the very essence of existence itself. He often described God as the ground of all being, a reality so vast and infinite that it transcends human understanding. Eckhart's most famous idea is the birth of God in the soul. According to him, when we let go of our ego, desires, and attachment to the material world, we create space for God to be born within us. This birth is not a one-time event but an ongoing process of becoming. The seed of God is in us, Eckhart preached, urging his listeners to nurture that seed through inner stillness and detachment. Gelassenheit, the art of letting go. Eckhart's teachings revolve around a central spiritual practice known as Gelassenheit, a German term meaning letting go or abandonment. For Eckhart, true spiritual enlightenment comes not from striving or accumulating knowledge but from releasing our grasp on everything that binds us. In detachment, he argued, we find freedom, and in that freedom, we encounter God. This radical idea challenged the conventional piety of his time. Eckhart's sermons encouraged his audience to seek God not in grand rituals or distant heavens but within their own souls. He famously said, "The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me." For Eckhart, there was no separation between the human and the divine. A rebel within the Church? Eckhart's teachings were revolutionary, but they didn't sit well with everyone. His insistence on the unity of God and the soul, his emphasis on inner experience over outward forms of religion, and his paradoxical statements, such as "I pray to God to rid me of God," sparked suspicion. Was Eckhart claiming that humans could become God? Did his teachings blur the line between creator and creation? In 1326, Eckhart was summoned before the papal court on charges of heresy. Though he defended himself eloquently, the investigation continued after his death. In 1329, Pope John XXII condemned some of his propositions as heretical. Yet Eckhart's influence persisted. His ideas were carried forward by followers like Johannes Tauler and Henry Suso, and his works survived to inspire future generations. A legacy that transcends boundaries. Today, Eckhart is celebrated not only as a Christian mystic but as a universal teacher whose insights resonate across religious and philosophical traditions. His concept of detachment echoes Buddhist teachings on non-attachment. His emphasis on the ineffable nature of God parallels the apophatic, or negative, theology found in Eastern Orthodoxy and Sufism. Modern spiritual thinkers, from Thomas Merton to Eckhart Tolle, who shares his name, have drawn inspiration from his writings. Eckhart's legacy is a testament to the timelessness of his vision. He reminds us that spirituality is not about escaping the world but about transforming how we see it. As he put it, the soul that is united to God is as still as eternity. In that stillness, Eckhart invites us to discover the divine not out there but within the depths of our own being. Why Eckhart still matters. Master Eckhart's teachings challenge us to rethink our relationship with God, ourselves, and the world around us. His bold questions and poetic answers stir something deep within the human spirit. What does it mean to let go? To find God in the ordinary? To see the divine in the self? These are not just theological musings, they are invitations to live differently. Perhaps this is why Eckhart's words continue to captivate audiences across cultures and centuries. He speaks to the part of us that yearns for meaning, that hungers for unity, that dares to believe in the possibility of transformation. So, who was Master Eckhart? A monk, a mystic, a philosopher, and a rebel. But more than that, he was, and remains, a guide for those who seek the infinite in the finite and the eternal in the here and now.